Hey guys, Magia here, and today I'm finally with Bailey in person.
Hey everyone.
He rarely shows up. When he does show up, it's mostly to do Ruby.
Yeah. Better Ruby than nothing.
Yeah, at least we're gonna get it done in about 5 years.
Alright.
But today we are continuing on with Magia Record, and we're on season 3. We're on the last 4 episodes.
Wait, season 3, then shouldn't we be scrolling down because it's on episode 1?
Season 3, not episode 3.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, weirdo. Hold on, I'm just going to my calendar because I'm pretty sure there was a birthday coming up. Yeah, so as of when this is recording, 3 days from now on the 10th is Megami Sakura's birthday from School Live.
Oh, okay.
I like to try and do that. Okay. We're going to get into Magia Record Season 3. Where Nemu starts off our season by telling the story penned in a personal book about a jewel that went missing. Which is actually an actual poem.
From who?
I don't remember who, but I just saw somewhere that it's an actual poem written by a person. Also, consider we're going back to basically the start of the story almost. We learned that Alina Gray is a patient at the Satomi Medical Center, and she's got like the abstract. She's working on an abstract sculpture using like weird looking parts.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's like stuff you would see in the witch's domain almost. Toka asks Yui if the past matters a lot to her, to which Yui answers she would be sad to lose something so important. Nemu, Toka, and Yui's only connection to the outside world is through Iroha, even bringing them bento boxes for lunch.
What comes in a bento box?
Like some rice, tofu, meat, or if you don't eat meat, just veggies.
Yeah.
It's basically like, sort of like curry, depending on if you have a curry.
Yeah.
You want to take the next point?
Sure. I got distracted by bento boxes. Where were we? Here we go. Then one day, Iroha is confronted by QB about if she had any wish she'd like to come true. We all know what that wish is.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the hospital, and if you don't know what the wish is, then I'd recommend you go back and watch season 1.
I think we learned what the wish was, in season 1.
Yeah. As if it isn't obvious what she wants. But anyway.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the hospital room, the 3 girls do research on a theme park in Daito Ward that got cancelled before completion. It was Yui that suggested making an Uwasawa for angels to Yuaza to gather angels there, called the Yuaza of Shalation Land. The Yuaza of Lucky Owl Water was based on the play that Nemu wrote and Yui and Toka performed. The Yuasa of the Friendship Ending Staircase was based on all the different fights the 3 had. All the Yuasa were created in a way for Iroha to remember. Then, if any of the 3 died, Iroha. What?
The mouse for you.
You mean the mouse?
Yeah.
What was a high 5?
No. Iroha is the creator of the Eternal Sakura Yuaza. And with that creation, the 4 make a promise they will meet at the Eternal Sakura. Anyway, QB returns to ask Iroha again about what her wish is, but she still doesn't respond. Getting a call from the hospital, Iroha rushes to the hospital to find Yui hooked up to an IV and a heart monitor. Iroha is hoping Yui gets better so she can eat the bento boxes again. But the doctor gives the depressing news that Yui isn't going to survive. It's not directly said, it's just like, you know, that dark, like, in anime you got like that
music
sort
in
of
the
side
background.
shot of like, you got the parents on, and like, or person on one side and the doctor on the other.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then always, you just see the people's heads just drop.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you know exactly what's going to happen. At the rooftop, Iroha makes her wish to Kyubey, and Yui recovers to the point she'll be able to leave the hospital. The downside of the wish is Iroha's being a magical girl and unable to visit Yui in the hospital. It's like, there's always a drawback to a good thing. By the way, the screen's reflecting your glasses, mate.
I know. So, how good is that?
Yeah. I will say, they show a calendar at this point, and I took my time to research this, because based on like the time period of Madoka Magica, how it happens on like January 2011, so around when the anime was released, Yui's calendar shows that it's most likely September, based on the fact that there's 30 days and the month starts on a Tuesday.
Where was this calendar located?
In Iroha's room.
Was it like, was there a
Oh
close-up?
no, it was in the hospital.
Was there a close-up of it, or?
Yes, there was a very clear shot of it.
I mustn't have been paying attention then.
Do you want to pay attention to the next note?
Sure.
Just.
Iroha detects a witch nearby during one of her visits to Yui, having to suddenly leave and fight the witch Mapasa or Marisa.
Yeah.
In the mortuary. Yui, Nemu, and Toga follow Iroha down to the mortuary and end up trapped in the witch's domain. While watching Iroha fight Marisa, Kyubi offers the hospital girls wishes so they can save Iroha, but they don't need to since Iroha wins the fight. Learning the truth of how Iroha is a magical girl allows Nemu to quickly piece together that Iroha did it to cure Yui. Instead of carelessly jumping into the business of becoming a magical girl, they do their research into magical girls in an effort to save Iroha.
Like, the research that they do is extensive. Even looking into witches to find an effective way to get rid of witches. Like, all at once, maybe, to make things easier for magical girls. They're researching missing person cases to learn their ecology and find patterns in the cases, in addition to disasters and accidents. Just in that research alone, they find the first victim is always a young girl. The next step for the hospital girls is to ask Kyubey questions, the first one being, what is your goal? And Kyubey is, he actually is an honest being, and answers every single question that they ask. And the final question is, what is about if all witches disappear, and then obviously if that happens, then all magical girls will disappear as well.
Small price to pay for eternal salvation of the world.
No, but it's like they figure out exactly what this means.
Yeah.
You want to take the next one?
Alright.
We'll just do a...
Turns out the security USAs are based on a toy from the hospital.
So it's like a little like the monkey thing, I think, or like a Jack in the Box.
Yeah, it's like ching
Ching
ching.
ching 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 ching.
Like for Black Ops Zombies. Both Nemu and Toka are able to figure out that witches are what magical girls ultimately become. The plan changes from saving Iroha to saving all magical girls by eliminating the destiny of becoming witches. All this research and planning happened within 2.5 weeks, by the way.
All this research, they do so much research in 2.5 weeks. No joke.
Yeah, they pushed it to the limit.
Like, I do a lot of research for this, but not as much as them.
Maybe they can give you some pointers.
Well, a lot of the notes here is just talking about the anime. There's
Yeah.
not really much research that you can do, isn't there?
Yeah, only the research of observation.
Yeah. And sometimes observing things can lead to learning something new.
Yeah.
Like, exactly where the story takes place based off a calendar. Alina Gray manages to catch a Cubase in one of her green cubes to talk about how she overheard that magical girls become witches before crushing the Cubase under her foot. Another Cubase just shows up just to show it's a waste of time to kill a Cubase, obviously. Always a waste of time to kill a Cubase because there's like basically an infinite number. Yui, Nemu, and Toka make their wish together for the same power as Cubase, which obviously Cubase is surprised by such a move. Yui wants the power to collect, Toka wants the power to transform, and Nemu wants the power to manifest. And all you want to take?
Yeah. Alright, it's full of...
All together now.
Yeah, and where is it? Influential where they are... Because you're saying stuff, but you went off the line, so I was a bit confused.
No, I didn't.
Oh, so magical girls, manifestation... That's it here, right?
No.
Oh, that's
Like,
right.
literally the start of the point.
Sorry, I was reading up ahead.
You silly goose.
Together they use Yui's collection power to gain impurities from soul gems, Toka's transformation power to turn it into magic for magical girls to use, and Nemu's manifestation power to give the magic a physical form. That's never a good idea, give magic a physical form. Would you give death a physical form?
Yes.
However, then you have doomed us all. Yui is affected by the soul gem's impurities she's absorbing. Nemu and Toka try to reduce the impurities in Yui when the three are imprisoned by one of Alina's cubes. Nemu and Toka are able to pull off Lee's soul gem, and to prevent it from falling apart, Nemu shoves it inside the soulless Cube. Doing this creates little Cube and erases Yui from the timeline, similar to how Madoka got erased by ascending above the timelines.
I love how it's just like, there's two ways you can get erased from a timeline. Either becoming too powerful, or getting your soul gem shoved in a little creature.
Yeah.
Anyway, Taker is excited they succeeded and grateful that Alina helped them by putting up the barrier. Alina asks about the witch, and Taker announces that it's an artificial witch made from the powers of Nemu and Taker. Taker recruits Alina into the revolution to save magical girls from their destiny. Nemu pieces together that by doing what she did, she's cut off Yui's existence from the world. As this artificial witch was created to save magical girls, Nemu named it Embryo Eve. Toka's next thing is to make it so no cubes can exist in Kamihama. And basically she does that by using Alina's barrier.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to soak in all that. Can't believe that's how the episode ends.
Just the fact that we learned that Yui is little Cube.
Yeah. Well, you was as shocked and appalled as I was.
I completely forgot that was what happened.
Oh, I tell you, I didn't see that coming.
It is such a shock to have that happen, but it also sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, my friend's gonna die. What's the closest thing I can shove it in to keep it safe?
I know. I'll hide it here. They'll never think to look.
I'll hide it in this little cube.
And give it to a friend. They'll never find it. And then I'll have my friend posted on the mail bus. Overseas.
So yeah, that is how episode 1 ends. It's just like, Nemu's... Oh. Okay. I'm still getting into episode 2. You want to start the first point of episode 2?
Yeah. Battling against the security was Yachiyo and Mifuyu connect to make a blade chain to slice through the security Uwasa. Meanwhile, Sana and Felicia connect to try breaking into the chapel in Rio Iraha. Magia's members have also caught up to the group of 9 to make the fight Mikazuki, Villa and Madoka's group versus Magia's and Uwasa. Mifuyu attempts to talk down to Amane twins since Magia's plan had failed and apologizes for making them do terrible things.
Meanwhile, inside the chapel, Nemo unfreezes time, allowing the hourglass to break and both Iraha and Toka to fully understand the full truth.
Yeah.
Did I say full enough times already?
Yeah.
And Toka and Iraha hug out all the mistakes Toka made and all the desire Iraha had to see her and Nemu. Nemu planned on never telling Toka what happened, and by doing so, Toka took the drastic action she did, including almost killing Iraha. Like, yeah, that is a pretty extreme thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Alright, next part,
Yeah.
Nemo explains that Embryo Eve was used to reach out to magical girls to bring them to Kamihama. But they don't expect the magical
They didn't
expect the magical girls to be so weak. Toka turns Magius towards the job of saving the weak magical girls, listening to them all charge. Toka's behavior changed Toka's behavior into what she became. Iraha tries the strength in numbers argument, which gets rebuffed by Nemu, responding that only the ones on stage can hold breath.
Hands.
Why
did you say breath?
I don't know. This is so intensifying. I'm holding my breath, you know. Since Toka contains a range of magical girls, she believes she doesn't belong on stage. Iraha says everything's... Yeah?
Isn't that my point?
If you want to say it.
We're taking the point each for this one.
But the point's down here, isn't it? Oh, okay, mouse is over it.
You silly. Iraha says everything's fine now and that she's going to help fix what went wrong with their help. And Toka with a disturbed face, she's like creepy disturbed face, asks Nemu why she never told her the truth. Reiterating the results of Force Cube and Fusion, Nemu almost gave up on everything as the world lost meaning to her. A new hope came in the form of Toka continuing the plan, even without Yui around to help. And upset with Nemu, Toka slaps her across the face. It's a good old slap as well. Like, can I give a demonstration?
No.
Imagine Bailey's face.
Like that baby from that Will Ferrell movie, The Campaign, where he punches the baby in the face and it's just like...
Or, no, the slap.
That thing was just slapping.
That video where the guy's just like...
Like, I'm with the police. Slaps the bird at the end.
Better.
Oh, am I on point now? With her happy memories back, Toka still wants to continue with the plan, and now Toka and Nemu are on the same side and mindset. Iraha reveals the Doppel system is flawed. That a magical girl either becomes a witch or a Doppel witch. Nemu locks Tora inside a board that will protect Iraha from the destruction of Kamihama. Iraha and little Kyubey disappear for Toka and Nemu to continue down the path of their mistake, all to grant Yui's wish.
I love how, now that you know little Kyubey is Yui, I'm putting little Kyubey / Yui. My dedication to the states of these magical girls and other characters is just... I am weird, aren't I? Anyway, Embryo Eve is awoken, unleashing a white light of extreme despair across the group of 9 and Magius all at once, causing an outbreak of Doppel witches. Mitama immediately figures out that the Doppel system overloaded during activation of Emperor Eve, sending it out of control. The Doppel Syndrome Isolation Ward also experiences a massive explosion with every Doppel Witch escaping at once. Yachiro is forced to watch as Felicia, Sana, Saruno, and the Yamane twins, all of their Doppel Witches come out. When I like especially with like the twins,
Yeah.
like their Doppel Witch sort of combines into one Doppel Witch.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
That was a cool shot because it's like, because like each of them is like reflective of their dark nature.
That's a big point.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't want to deprive you of this. Go on.
Okay, perfect. Coming out of the chapel, Toka and Nemu ride Emperor Eve in their chase after and to fuse with Walpurgis Knight. Mafuyu stays behind to help the Doppel-Witched magical girls within giant glass balls, like to keep them in there. So Yachio can chase after Toka and Nemu. Meanwhile, Kira is just walking away from Generation Fate Hope. She's just going for a long walk. And in the background, Mafuyu summons a whole damn mood. Like, it is massive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's like the size of the actual moon. And anyway, so yeah, Mafuyu summons a moon to keep the Doppel Witches near her and in orbit of the moon. The move causes Mafuyu's soul gem to crack and corrupt Mafuyu. Momoko is still in the area and stays to help Mafuyu. So by connecting, the two travel to the dimension of where Mitama is helping they're going there to help her save all the magical girls from the Doppel Witches. In doing so, they sacrifice themselves to the darkness of all the magical girls' hearts and tell Mitama to save herself to help more magical girls in the future. Momoko takes special care to bring Kaede and Rena back together and save Kaede from her Doppel Witch, as with Mafuyu and the Amane twins. Saruno and everyone else wake up to find Momoko and Mafuyu dead. The soul gem's shattered.
Yeah.
I'm taking these off so everyone can see that you're falling asleep.
I'm not falling asleep. I'm wrapped in the story, you know?
Yeah, you're falling asleep. Your head's dipping like it's a
Because I'm like
it's a
nodding,
bird.
I'm like, yeah.
You know that bird that's like.
Yeah.
Anyway, the episode ends with Kiri continuing her endless walk with her Doppel Witch still attached to her back. Honestly, episode 2, like, considering, like, the end of season 2 has that, or like, the end of episode 7 has, like, the thing that gave me my fear of dislocations.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, we got 3 episodes later making me cry over the death of 2 characters.
Oh, well, Spider-Man gave me a fear of spiders. The first movie, you know,
Really?
the spider close up, then one time I got my head kind of stuck in the wall and it was like, Daddy Longlegs was slowly coming. I was like, no!
But yeah, it was very interesting though, wasn't it?
Yeah, which one?
Episode 2.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I sort of liked how the design of the corruption with Mafuyu.
Yeah.
It was like glitchy, but also like not glitchy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Like kind of staticky.
Yeah, staticky.
Where it's like you see it and it's like...
But it's like the actual like TV static.
Yeah, it looks clear sometimes and it goes...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. So that ends episode 2. We're on episode 3. I'm just making another copy.
Go for it,
Thanks,
my
I
caffeine addled
need
friend.
to wake up. Alright, let's go. Where are we up to?
Well, at Cube, and Cube learns that they can't enter Kamihama due to the Alita Grey Barrier. But it doesn't stop them from learning that inside Magical Girls don't become witches due to the Doppel system. Kyubey says that Magical Girls are not obligated to become witches, but in their escape from fate, they're wasting their own souls and killing their own people. Yeah. Meanwhile, just from a random rooftop, Alina paints the scene. Oh yeah, not a random rooftop. So Alina's like painting the scene, Bailey.
Yeah.
Like, remember when Alina was doing the painting
Yeah. Which one?
in episode 3?
Oh yeah. Oh, season 3, yeah.
Yeah. She's like painting the scene from like where the helipad where the magnet was,
Yeah, I remember that. Look
and
at it.
she's ready to see some truly emotional art from Nemu and Toka. Emperor Eve lands down in Kamihara to give the girls a chance to figure out their plan to intercept Walpurgis Night, figuring it out to be close but possible. Yachio catches up to Nemu and Toka for a battle between her and the two girls. If Embryo Eve absorbs Walpurgis Night, then the resulting fusion will cause a massive shockwave with the potential of mass genocide. You always gotta love it when your story has a bit of mass genocide in it, don't ya? Bailey?
Yeah.
You gotta love it when your story has the potential of mass genocide.
Oh yeah.
It's always nice.
Better than patricide and matricide. Because it combines both.
What's patricide?
I believe patricide is when you kill the father, matricide is when you kill the mother.
Yeah, genocide is just everyone.
Yeah. The more the merrier.
The more the merrier, he says.
At least for us, the viewer.
Yeah. Anyway, Yachia is saved from Toka's attack last second by a speedy white-haired magical girl named Kanagi, which is like, it is such an odd time to introduce a new character. But, and Kanagi's like, what's going on with this witch? And
Witchy woman.
exactly, yeah. Never and Toka offer up an explanation that would make no sense since Yui was erased from the timeline, and tell them all to leave Kamihama. Wait, did I misspell Kamihama in an earlier point?
It's
Yeah.
Kamihama.
Yeah. I just realized I made a mistake in one note.
Okay.
And back in Mitakihara, Midako and her friends battle witches, while Kyubey provides a voiceover how the energy release of magical girls becoming witches saves the universe. And Kyubey continues on about how they don't agree with Magius' statement about how it sucks to be a magical girl, while the Amane girls paid their respects to Mifuyu and Momoko.
Well, it would suck, but like, you know, at the same time, like,
You're doing it for the better of the world.
drawbacks. Yeah.
Also, in the Doppel system isolation ward, a bunch of magical girls are bedded up from having been in the Doppel witches for a long time.
Yeah.
Not able to move at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like with Spider-Man. Have you heard of the Parker
You want
curse?
to scroll it? The Parker curse?
Yeah. See, like, it's kind of like a scale. Whenever something goes good for Spider-Man, it goes bad for Peter Parker. If something goes good for Peter Parker, it goes bad for Spider-Man. So you can't both be happy. One's always going to suffer.
Yeah, scroll it a bit more.
Well, we're on this one, right?
No, that's...
I thought we were. Next one.
Yeah.
Iraha has been locked inside the little QB, where the space inside is Yui and Iraha's bedroom, but flipped to be only Yui's side decorated. Not everything is bad, since for once in a long time, Iraha is reunited with Yui. Yui is very upset they failed at everything they set out to do to save Iraha, to save magical girls. Both girls wanted the other to be happy and save each other, but now Yui can't be saved. Yui wants Iraha to stop Embryo Eve and her friends from an action they'll all regret. Yui manages to transport Iroha back out of a little QB with a message of saving Kuro first.
Well, she just says her friend first, but it's like Kuro is the one that she gets teleported straight to. So I'm working on an assumption. Yeah.
Iroha, maybe it's like, monkey's paw, you gotta be specific.
No, that's not the situation here.
Mm.
But I get what you mean.
Iroha is transported right to Kuro just in time for Kuro's Doppel to Doppel.
Doppel witch.
Yeah, Doppel, that's it. Doppel witch to take over and turn Kuro into a goop geyser.
Yep, that is a sentence.
Why does that sound wrong, goop geyser?
You want to continue for a bit more, considering I read a few?
Yeah. Transitioning to a train ride, Kuro's past starts off with her blocking the number of an ex-friend due to the fate of being a magical girl. Kuro talks about how hard the witches are to defeat and that she isn't strong. But then, she met someone weaker than her during the fight with the slave of Anima Witch. Yes! I'm not the worst one! I'm not the weakest link! Get out of here! Kuro manages to defend the weaker magical girl and defeats the slave of Anima Witch. Turns out Kuro, the weak magical girl, ran in to save the cat that ran in like Iroha did in season 1. Kuro asks if Kuro has any extra grief seeds she could use for her soul gem. But Kuro lies, saying she doesn't even have any. Kuro doesn't. How am I saying it? Kuro didn't even know.
I don't know if that's
Kuro
even correct.
is still alive today. Still hopping across Kamihama, Embryo Eve lands down on a bridge before continuing on after Walpurgis Night, while Kyubei's endless speech drones on into how magical girls have always been perceived as holy. On the news, Embryo Eve's landings have been reported as explosions.
I'll take this next one because I have a very serious question here. Like, are magical girls just invisible to other people?
Yeah.
Like earlier in this very episode, we see magical girls helping injured civilians, right? Like ones that got stuck on the rubble and they're lifting up the rubble and pulling them out.
Mm.
Like, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Also, Embryo Eve doesn't have a domain to hide like normal witches. How is Embryo Eve hiding?
It reminds me of the Life is Strange comic. There's a character called Tristan. He has the ability just to. He can turn himself invisible. What happens is, no one can see him, but he can still interact in the world. So if someone like bumps into him, he's still there.
Yeah, but it's still just like Embryo Eve. Like with Walpurgis Night, that's hidden by a giant storm.
Yeah.
However, like, Embryo Eve is an artificial witch, meaning it should be a thing that people can see, right?
Right.
And even if it doesn't, the news should be able to report on 2 girls just floating in the air.
Yeah.
Like, there is so much here that's just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, unless Embryo Eve is just like, oh, it could just naturally cloak.
Could be a possible mistake by the writers.
It's just like, you gotta think of every possibility. Like, you gotta give good explanation. Especially considering Embryo Eve does melt a hole in the building later on. Anyway, continue.
Kyubei talks about how Magia's offer to save magical girls is just a reflection to the current wave of thinking, protecting everyone. Of course, Kyubei thinks that their system offered to humans is the best choice for humans. Alina brings up her half of the conversation with her interpretation of the facts that she has, that human culture and civilization were created off the souls of magical girls tricked by Kyubei. Lena finishes off her painting, snaps a few photos of the art, and packaging it to be sent to someone.
Like we don't learn who this painting goes to.
Yeah.
Anyway, Double Witch Kyubey continues blasting off into space on her goop skyscraper. Iroha manages
That name.
what?
To the Goopmobile.
To the
That's
Goopmobile.
what Gwyneth Paltrow's done. She's got like that.
Yeah, it's called Goop. Yeah. Well, yeah, this is just a tower of perfume then, isn't it?
Yeah, but did you hear that what one of her perfume samples is?
What? Oh yeah, the bee one.
Yeah.
This candle smells like my bee.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, even this, I don't want to say that word.
That's why I just said V.
No, the goop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Iroha manages to connect with Kurore. Kurore.
Down the butt.
And wants the both of them to work together to detach Kurore from her Doppel Witch. Iroha's words of working together triggers Kurore's memory of Kuro and the negative connotations of why she didn't help. Kurore doesn't even remember her own wish anymore and asks Iroha how long she has to be a magical girl. Kurore's Double Witch grows tall enough to break through Alina's barrier, and now that the double system is broken, Kurore goes from Double Witch form to Witch form. Iroha manages to jump onto Witch Kurore before she flies away and stabs Witch Kurore in the head, which is such a sad end.
I gotta be honest, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. You wanna read the last one?
I didn't even watch the credits, so this is new to me. During the credits of the episode, this message appears. The soul gems are made from us. If we're not always on the side of goodness, they will shatter. Goodness is what kills us, so destroy it before it kills you. We will destroy all that is good, and then we will disappear.
And what did you think of episode 3?
Yeah, that at the ending, I was like,
Just so sad that
I think more shocking
Iroha
than
had.
sad.
It's both, really.
'Cause I was like, that came out. I didn't think she was gonna,
She had to. She had to kill her.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't much else she could do at that point.
Yeah. Still though, you think like she'd be able to figure out another way.
Well, episode 4 picks up right off after the death of Kure.
It's too emotional for me. You have to read it.
Yeah, so picking up from the aftermath of Witch Kuro's death, Iroha reflects on how she was the one to drive Kuro to despair. Kyubey shows up to repeat their spiel about despair expanding the lifespan of the universe. And Iroha wants nothing of this conversation and shoots multiple Kyubeys in the head as they appear. As Kuro's goop tower collapses, Iroha's Double Witch tells Iroha she doesn't understand anyone and that everyone is going to turn into witches because she stopped Magius. It's like, well, would you rather be a Doppel Witch or witch?
Yeah.
Which fate is worse?
Well,
Get what I
if
did
you're-
there?
Yeah. Because if you're a witch, you wouldn't really be yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you, are the
So
witches
it's like the witches are reflections of the magical girls.
But the real magical girls are dead.
Yes.
Right, yeah. So you'd rather be a witch because you're dead
And Doppel Witch is just like, yeah, you're still sort of alive. Anyway.
let me get what's it here. The Mikazuki Villa team race up to Iroha to save her from the Doppel Witch, only for all 5 to free fall. The 5 bring their hope and despair together to connect and form an aircraft of giant versions of all their weapons.
It is actually like ridiculoly cool, though.
Yeah.
It's like the shield, like Son Shield is the platform. Part of it, like the halberd for Yachio is like the point of the ship. Felicia's hammer and how has like it gets supercharged is the back, and Iroha's crossbow is at the front, like drawn and ready to shoot.
Yeah.
Who else was there?
Wasn't there, what's her name?
Sana, Felicia, Yachio.
Yeah, that's it, Yachi.
No, Saruno, that's right. Saruno. Oh yeah, her fan, like the metal fan, is like the sort of part of the back end of the, like attached to the back of the shield. Sort of like a tail fin.
Yeah. Yachio shares the info that all the other magical girls have learned about Nemu and Toka chasing Walpurgis Night. Iroha's double witch gives Iroha the ultimatum of saving Kamihama or the magical girls, but Iroha responds that the hope she gave her friends will reach and help her.
So it's like, if she doesn't have enough hope, her friends, the hope inside her friends will help her.
Yeah. Over at the Magical Girl Light Show, all the magical girls are shooting Embryo Eve with zero effect. The Mikazuki Villa team catch up to Embryo Eve, their airship burrowing in its head while the girls attack Toku and Nemu. Their airship transforms into many branchy vines to pull Embryo Eve against the side of the building through the power of Kaede and Rena connecting. To be doubly sure Embryo Eve won't escape, a magical girl spears chains across its entire body to the building.
Like, literally, you just see, like... Anyway, as a defense, Nemu unleashes the Yuaza Kamehama Holy Maiden, which was the Yuaza that was fused to Mami. Amidst the gunfire, Kanagi launches a heavy attack and dodges Embryo Eve's heavy attack that melts a hole clear through another building. Like, literally, just like, perfect circle. Right through it.
Sounds like you had a problem with it.
No, again, it's just like that. The problem I have with it is because the news.
You don't
like,
like perfect circles?
No, it's the news part.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the news reporting on explosions happening, and it's like, explain a hot hole through a building.
Oh, we're doing a bit of remodeling. No, worry there.
I just imagine some people getting killed in that, and it's just like, where did those people go?
Like, you ever see V for Vendetta?
Mm.
He blew up, I think it was a building or something, and then the news came out, the construction crew wanted to celebrate the demolition of this building, and they released the fireworks and all that. So they're trying to, like, cover up what happened.
Yeah. But the news is in this situation isn't trying to cover it up. They just suck at their jobs. Most likely. Or just magic, I guess. So yeah, Taka and Nemu argue once again that their actions for the great, like they're doing their actions for the greater good of magical girls. When Iroha shows up to tackle them both into Embryo Eve from atop a building. Taka and Nemu cannot be convinced to stop. However, Iroha should take care for herself more, just so she can live for longer. Iroha finally manages to talk them down, though, from their crazy plan. You want to take the next point? Because we're like only like halfway through the episode at this point.
Yeah. Without a moment to rest, suddenly Alina rains down her green cubes to announce she's here to complete Toku and Nemu's plan for them. However, her version of the plan is to make all of humanity into magical girls by fusing her doppel witch into Embryo Eve and stealing Walpurgis Night power. Alina will force her doppel witch upon every living person. In doing this, there's no witches for grief seeds, and eventually everyone will turn to doppel witches.
Oh shoot!
Not to mention the fact that they're all witches. There's no
Can
men. Witches are women and wizards are men.
Can you scroll down a bit more? Because I rarely swear, but I feel like this is the one time where it's excusable. Because Alina enacts her plan, turning herself into Alina Eve. Or, as the actual official wiki
Yeah.
puts it, Neo Dorothy motherfucker.
I don't think she that wasn't in the anime.
It wasn't in the anime, but it is like
that is the canonical name for it.
that is a canonical name for this magical this witch.
Lol.
That is just the most metal name ever.
Yeah.
And the fact that they got that into a canon story in Japan
Yeah.
just amazes me.
I think Neo Dorothy is meant to be like Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz.
Maybe. Then what's the Neo part?
Like Neo from the Matrix.
And then like Alina Eve launches off after Walpurgis night, and of course, once again, Doko and Nebu flip again on Iroha and some of their doppel witches while simultaneously imprisoning Iroha in a card chamber. Doko and Nebu chase Alina Eve, with Yui joining them as a blinding explosion occurs, blasting Yachio onto a train traveling into space. Mel and Kanade also appear on the train since the magic of them is within Yachio. Kanade reveals Yachio's power isn't surviving by sacrificing her friends, but to carry on their hopes. Matthew and Momoko also appear on the train, both of them excited to live in the living room if they return to Mikazuki Villa.
Oh boy, the living room. I can't wait.
Along with Kanade, all four of them say goodbye, confirming for Yachio that Mafuyu and Momoko are dead.
Meanwhile, Iroha opens her eyes to a blackened field, and Yui is there to talk about how she's made of magic. This magic is made of many magical girls. Yui asks if Iroha was happy whenever she was with Yui, and Yui says she can exist within the happiness Iroha feels. So as long as she doesn't get depressed,
Yui will be alive.
yes.
That is weird. Anyway, so Yachio wakes to reality to Alina Eve still alive after having a hole blasted through her head by Toko and Nemu. Or like, yeah, no, it wasn't really head, it was like the side of the body.
Yeah.
But the hole is getting filled in with Alina's head. It is the most bizarre thing you'll ever see.
Yeah,
And that's talking about the show in general. Iroha talks with her doppel witch, saying she now understands her doppel witch and that they can worry and suffer together. Suddenly, Iroha somehow has Yui's collection ability, in an orb.
Yeah.
And to connect with every magical girl and Kamehama, it gets confusing so fast at this point, but also not confusing. And combining all that power with Kurei's grease creates a mega weapon that actually has no name.
What do you mean no name?
Like, I looked for the name of this weapon. There's no name for this weapon.
Then that could mean its name. No name.
Nah.
N weapon.
Anyway, Yache joins Iroha for a team attack against Alina Eve, destroying her in a hit powerful enough to create a literal purple beam into space. And end in a very pitiful firework explosion. It's literally like giant purple beam, and then it's just like
Gonna remind you of Mass Effect 3.
like literally the fireworks was literally just like
So boo.
like literal space beam, like purple space beam, and then just anyway.
Returning to Musica Villa. Returning to Musica Villa.
No, Mikazuki.
Mikazuki Villa. The picture of Iroha with Yui, Nemu, and Toka is fully restored, and the Mikazuki Villa team decides to form the Kamihama Magia Union to create an active plan.
Activity plan.
Active
Plan.
Okay, But that's still activity.
Yeah.
Kade and Rena end up crashing at Mitama's place, along with other magical girls with no one to go for safety. War Purchase Night also was defeated the same night. However, since Umura uses her ability to rewind time, Madoka is dead.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
the
it
conflict-
has to happen like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. The entire incident of people being rescued from rubble is explained away on the internet as a rumor of a shining girl saved my life. And of course, magic.
Yeah, this is where I also have a problem. It's like, it is such a thing. And it's just like, magic. Magic's the answer.
Believe in magic, Muggle. A funeral was held for all the magical girls that lost their lives in the incident. Since Yui is again part of the timeline, Iraha and Yui's bedroom is restored to its original state, along with all the other photos of the two sisters.
Yeah, but Yui is still dead? Question mark?
Hubei
Anyway.
states that people believe all the damage that happened was caused by earthquakes, typhoons, and terrorist attacks by unknown parties.
Oh, okay.
The truth will never be written in history of humanity, but it will be written in the Magica record, held onto by Iraha and God Madoka.
Yeah, this ending, like the very ending is annoying to me.
How so?
Because, like, this whole time you're thinking, in this story, it's, like, it's set before, it's sort of both before and during Madoka Magica, in a way.
Yeah.
But then you find out, no, this story does not matter at all. It's a completely separate timeline in the end. Because with the very end, it's basically like, oh yeah, this story is canonically after Madoka Magica, but because of time travel, it's also before and during Madoka Magica.
Yeah.
Not confusing at all, right?
I'd say it's more simplified in a scientific railgun,
Yeah.
because actually scientific railgun is a spin-off. A Certain Magical Index is the main show.
Yeah.
So, like, you can watch either one and be like, okay, it's just kind of two different animes set in the same universe.
Yeah, like, there are some animes out there that, like, don't confuse me at all.
Yeah.
That have time travel. Higurashi is a perfect example of that. That doesn't confuse me at all. It makes perfect sense to me, even though it's like a story that's across multiple timelines.
What about the go all that through time?
That one also makes sense to me because it's like it's one timeline just going back and forth between
Yeah.
timeline.
I'll tell you, if I was going to create something that involved time travel, what I would do is, depending on how I felt, let's say you travel back 5 months,
Yeah.
you age 5 months. Because it's like, when you're going back in time, you are going back in time, but as a consequence, your body ages.
Erase sort of does that, actually, a little.
The anime race?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
It's not really that, but it's like the main character can go back in time, and change any particular events. But in doing so, he mostly ends up in the hospital for a while after doing his action. So, like, the big main story is, like, gets sent back, like, 18 years
Okay.
to change something, and then he succeeds and,
Yeah.
like, ends up in a coma for, like, a really long time.
Yeah.
I'm spoiling Erased.
Oh, so good.
Ah. This podcast is just made for spoilers anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
And speaking of this podcast, we're going to be ending this episode here.
And the next anime we're covering is...
We're going to be covering the girl who leapt through time,
Yeah. And
which
then
will be
five-
Bailey's last one until he comes back for the new Higurashi
Yeah.
series.
But I'll still be one for Ruby.
Yeah, he'll still be around for Ruby, and you'll most likely just be watching the anime in your own time.
Yeah. Unless, are we going to start covering that in the notes, or?
No, so basically, I'm going to be continuing the podcast by myself.
Yeah, but are we going to be talking about Ruby at all?
Yeah, we'll still do the Ruby episodes.
No, I mean the show.
No, not Ruby, but the Ruby anime
Yeah.
will definitely come up way in the future.
That's new or old?
That came out like a year ago, I think.
The Ice Queen, though.
Yeah, a year or two ago.
Is that a new one, or is that like...
That's the most recent.
But is it in the same timeline, I mean?
No, it's not in the same timeline. It's its own thing. Anyway, we're getting distracted. We're going to end this episode here. Links will be in the description to both of my channels and also both Bailey's channels for you guys to go check out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so the next video comes out. Ding, 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 ding!
Bum, bum, bee, bum, bum, bum.
No.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
No, it's from the gun from Cyberpunk. Whenever it's like, I'm loading, please wait a moment. It's like, bum, bum.
That is a song.
No, he's saying elevator music. So it's like, bum, bum, bee, bum.
Yeah, that is also a song.
How is it elevator music a song?
No. Ba ba be da ba ba da 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 ba ba dee da da.
I have no idea what that song is.
Disturbia
No.
by Rihanna.
I'd have to listen to the lyrics to know it.
Anyway, don't forget. Okay, I lost where I was at.
Don't forget to check out the links to my channel and Bailey's. Then you went a ding, and then cut me up there, so we're all done.
My brain's just absolutely forgotten. I'm the Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist out.
Thanks, everyone.